What is happening, buddy? This is Cody, aka DFS Project, coming to you live, breaking down this upcoming DraftKings Monday Night Football slate. Before we get hit like button for me, definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. As a ton of y'all know, helps the YouTube robots, overlords, get me back in the algorithm. Sometimes I look good, and sometimes I don't for some reason. Some days I get good views, some days I don't. So please help me with that. Definitely help me with that. Um, we're here breaking down this Monday Night Football divisional game. So let's just kick it off with the hometown team, the studs, Jalen Hurts on the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a good spot. I mean, what can I say? I mean, this is going to be the game where he can possibly look good once again. They destroyed them last game in week 3, 24-8. He looked good on the ground. So what can I say? It's Jalen Hurts. He's looked good. I like him. AJ Brown. I mean, let's look at what he did. 19 fantasy points. He was 10-6 that slate. He's 10-6 again. Again, I have nothing bad to say about AJ Brown. Miles Sanders, if we go back and look at him when he played Washington, he looked awful. But I do think this could be a possibly good pivot spot away from some other guys because people aren't going to look at that. People aren't going to really are going to say I'm going to fade him just because of how he looked last game against this team. But I think at 9.8, he could be a good GPP just start throw option. Devontae Smith, 8,000. When he played against Washington, he went off. Do I think that happens again? Not necessarily. And at 8,000 now with the price tag up, it's kind of hard to get to him. Dallas Goedert, though, 7.8. He's been a stud for me. I like playing him. I think he looked okay here. I mean, he caught the touchdown. He had 11 fantasy points, so at 7.8, I don't mind taking a GPP dart throw on him either. Eagles defense, I'm not going to play. I hate playing defenses. Kenneth Gainwell, 4.6. If you want to go back and look at him, he only saw 3 carries last time, but he's always in play in the receiving end. But a 4.6 is a little bit expensive. I do like Jake Elliott here, a 4.4. Quez Watkins, we know, can catch the long deep ball. Um, Again, he only had one target last time they played, but again, he's always a deep ball threat. Zach Pascal, not really an option for me. Not really looking at him at 1.4. But again, so my theory on the Eagles is they're going to be the team that everybody flocks to. This is going to be the high ownership option. So if you want to take a good stance, you could go to Washington as like I said, to be different because that's going to be the kind of the game changer. Is everybody's going to want to play Eagles? Everybody's going to want to lock in Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown. Got to get my Devontae Smith shares just because he went off the last time they played. Everybody's going to flock to this team. So if you want to be different, let's look at Washington. Taylor Heineke, 9,000. I'm not saying he's been great, but I'm not saying he's been awful either. It's just the interceptions is what worries me. He at least has one every single game. So yes, you could look at the Eagles defense, but I'm not doing it because they're going to be high in ownership. Everybody's going to want the Eagles defense. Terry McLaurin, let's look at what he did. I mean, I don't think he played. Yeah, he did. He went off at 8.6. Now he's 8.2 and they dropped his price tag. Why? He went off against the Eagles last time. Antonio Gibson, 6'8". So 12 for 38. So 11 fantasy points. Not bad either. When his price tag was 9,000, now he's 6'8". I know Brian Robinson's back, but still, Curtis Samuel. Let's look at him. Look what he did against this Philly team. 13 fantasy points, 7.6. Now he's 6'6". Brian Robertson, he was not playing that time, but he saw 13 attempts last game. So let's kind of Logan Thomas also. 2 fantasy points, 2.6. He looked awful. I get it. Um, John Bates. Okay. So here's my theory. Here's what we're going to kind of talk about it. So say you do want to go with the possible the Washington stack. You can go to Terry McLaurin. You can go to possibly Jalen Hurts. You can get your value from possibly Brian Robertson. Dotson's back. So he looks good. I don't mind playing him. Play him at 5,000. That gives you 6,000 left over. You want possibly Devontae Smith. That leaves you 6-2. Go down, play my kickers, lock and load my kickers. Tell me why this doesn't work. Tell me why I I can go with an opposing QB to be different. Have Terry McLaurin in the captain spot. Have Dotson. Have Devontae Smith. Have my kicker, and have Dallas Goedert. And I don't have AJ Brown, but still, there's ways to be different on this slate. There's ways to be contrarian on this slate. That's what I like about this. People are not going to want to play Washington. I get it. They're awful, but it's still, you're not going to be able to play your Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Miles Sanders, and Devontae Smith all in one lineup unless you're playing somebody who's $200, but no, there's not really good $200 options. So that's where I'm kind of liking. That's why I think this slate's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But that wraps up the slate for us. Thank you for tuning in. I'm the great set for us tonight. Have a good one, everybody.